Hi, folks. Welcome to another movie chat here. We skipped last week. We're here this week, so let's deal with the present. Joe Mayo here, along with Tom Hagnotti, and along with Tim Allen. And I've been very busy, in case you didn't know, on my other channel, making videos about the Beatles anthology, watching it, making videos. I really have not been watching movies, although I got two on just the last couple of days, but you think they're new ones? No, they're not. These are not new ones. These are ones I've seen before. So thank you guys for being here. I'm glad you guys were able to make it. Uh,
Yes,
motion.
they are.
Think so. Yeah. Hi, hi, hi. Somebody once said. I got to talk about that too. That's not the place for it. But man, I played that in the car. I thought the sound was great on that Wings CD, the new Wings compilation. But some of the songs just went to me. It just took it down, man. Like Mamunia, for example. Even though I liked the song, I just didn't like it on there. Some people never knows. Like I like it. I like the song, but
I love Some People Never Know. Mamounia, I've never been a huge fan of.
I like these songs. They bring it down. I thought the CD. That's my way of saying. Anyway, good. This is not right for this particular channel. Hello, Cherry Carter. Did I get everybody? Final everybody. Everybody, I'm saying hello to twice. Okay, what's up there? That's Beatletti. Okay, John. James Paul McCartney. I was gonna say John. John's on my brain. Hello again. So, what's on everybody's so-called mind? Tom, you've been busy, but you haven't been to the theater, or you have?
No. Last between, my days off have been dealing with McCartney shows the last 2 weeks, and so then I come back and then straight to work. So I haven't really had time for movies, and then I get home and I'm like, maybe I'll watch a Blu-ray, and next thing you know, I'm asleep. So it's
whoa, that sounds familiar to me.
Yeah.
I could relate to that.
So yeah, it was at the Hamilton show in Canada, and then the last show in Chicago. Got to see him do Mulligan Tire.
Yeah, that was a dream of yours.
Absolutely, I can die.
A happy man, I guess you were saying.
Yeah.
A lot of people I've heard say the new Frankenstein is good. I'll never know because I don't have no interest in seeing it. But I'm not going to say one day it's not on TV, I won't try it out. But I got my desires and my priorities and what I want and what I like. And it's like I can live without seeing that. I got tons of other Frankenstein films. So I don't know if I'm ever going to see it. Why? I don't know.
What is there more of, Frankenstein or Dracula movies? What do you think?
If I had to bet, I'd say Dracula. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yo. All right. Let me start off here because I only saw two things, and they're movies that I've seen before. But it's funny how this came about. Not funny, but we were watching, my girlfriend and I, around dinner time. We had some channel on. They were showing My Cousin Vinny, which I love, and a couple of F-bombs cut out of it, commercials. I said, you know what? I'm in the mood to watch it. Within the first 15 minutes, I said, let's just start it from here. So I pulled my Blu-ray out of there, and this is a movie that I love, that I never get tired of. I loved it in the theater in 1992. Sometimes it's like, well, I've seen a movie enough. I just love this every time I see it. It's funny. It's well written, I think. Fred Gwynne, I think, he is fantastic in here. It might have been his last role. Does anybody know? It's one of his last roles as the judge, and he's totally transcended Herman Munster in this. And I knew when I first saw it in the theater, I said, she's going to get the supporting actress, Marissa Tomei, mostly because of the fun, charmingness of the character. Not so much it's the greatest acting job I've ever seen, but, I could just tell. I could tell that.
It's a shame that Ralph Macchio kind of gets forgotten in that film.
He does. He really does.
As one of the Utes.
Yep, one of the two Utes. Absolutely. Yeah, good stuff. Another movie I want to talk about now. I used to see this on TV. I remember late night TV. in the 1970s when I was like, I don't want to say about 13 or 14. Black and white horror film. This title, don't get it confused with an older one. And I liked it when I saw it on TV in the 70s. And then it's this movie. It's called Devil Doll, not to be confused with the Barrymore 1930s the Devil Doll. This is different. This is British production 1964. I've seen a lot of these kind of ventriloquist dummy movies. Twilight Zone, Dead of Night, I think, has a segment. This is my favorite, Above and Beyond. And this was on Svengoolie. So that's why I was watching it. So I pulled out my old Image DVD of it, which has this gets confusing. It has two versions. The regular version, if you want to call it the American version. Then they have the Continental version, which has a little nudity in it. And of course, we're all fans of that. So it's like, something weird and all that. It has nudity in it. Nothing big, but topless stuff in here. But unfortunately, this actress, who I've done a good picture of her here, who I think just may be in the top 10, if not 5, of my picks in life, the most gorgeous women that ever walked the earth. Yvonne Romaine. I don't know if any of you know her. It's my taste.
Yvonne the one.
Yvonne Romaine. She's gorgeous. Anyway. So it has the two versions. And that gets more interesting because I look it up just today, and it's on Amazon. They have this film on Blu-ray that came out this year, 2025 on Blu-ray. This is a DVD.
Well, I'll look
And
that up.
it has a double feature, a movie called Curse of the Voodoo with the same actor, Bryant Halliday. That's Bryant Halliday. He's in both movies. Curse of the Voodoo also has its original title, Curse of Simba. It's about a hunter or someone who winds up getting a voodoo curse on him, and he was in both movies. So you have a double feature disc out there on Blu-ray. It gets confusing, but that one only has the Continental version on it with the extra, nude scenes. But on this one, although they have the Continental version, the scene's missing. One of the scenes is missing. So, in other words, if you want the American version, you got to have this. If you want to have only the Continental version, but unlike this, it's complete, you got to get that. So that we're going to get it is the bottom line. As soon as my money replenishes, which is not going to be for a while. By that time, it'll be back up to $42. I heard this goes up to, this is like usually $40 or so. Now it's $21 presently right now. So anyway, I like the movie. It's about a ventriloquist, of course, a hypnotist who has a dummy who is an assistant or somebody he had in Berlin, who is now his soul is in the dummy. He transferred his soul into the dummy. I think it's really good. My favorite dummy movie. Dummy! And that was a big, long thing, but I had to talk about it that way. So I watched it on Svengoolie, so that's how I watched it. But I didn't want to, I was going to give this a spin. But I said, no, don't do it because it's on Blu-ray. Get the Blu-ray.
There you go. Devil Doll.
There it is. Yeah, I want that.
I'm going to buy it right now, Joe.
Well, I hope you like it. I don't get a little worried about it. It's got two commentaries on the new one. This one only has one commentary by Tom Weaver, who's great, and Richard Gordon, who is the producer. That's repeated on the new one. Do me a favor, get me one also and send it to me, will you, please? Because by the time you know what I'm going to have to do? I got to go out and find a gift card, buy myself a gift card and put it while it's still $21. I'm going to have to do that.
Yep.
All right, because I don't have money right now on my standard account. Yeah, I hope you like it, Tom. I don't know, but I'm always afraid of.
Cool. Like you said, it's got nudity, so it can't be that.
Oh, mild, and unfortunately, it doesn't include Yvonne Romaine. Doesn't include her.
Well, now, I mean, I have to rethink this.
But it has two other women. Don't expect a lot, but anyway, it's enough.
Oh, very good. Yeah, I got that set. But be aware that some of the scenes that have been lost, or that haven't been in this 4-hour version, they're really bad. The restoration, they did the best they can with the restoration for what they had. So unfortunately, some of the scenes that were cut out don't look that great. But there's one scene in there with Louise Fletcher, if I remember correctly, that was cut from the original film, and it looks really bad because she's only in the one scene. So, but I'm glad you're watching it.
I just thought of this out of nowhere, but this Saturday, my nephew and I are going to go see Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair.
Oh, Thursday.
Yeah, we're going Saturday. It comes out, I think, Thursday, and yeah, I never saw. We talked about it. I know what the deal is, but there, about the color scenes are intact and all this, but it's saying it's like 4 hours and 40 minutes or something, which is really up there, but it'll probably go by quick because I like it that much.
There might be an intermission too.
Yeah, I'll bet
that 20 minutes.
Bob Dylan, eh?
Nice, very cool. I saw him twice this year.
Yeah, I don't know if you could call them dummies anymore, guy. Maybe life devoid stage supports. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That movie Magic.
Anthony Hopkins, if I remember correctly, is in that.
Yeah. So, Tom, tell us what you didn't watch this past couple of weeks.
Anything and everything that movie related, I did not watch.
Nothing, huh? Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got this week, guys. I saw him twice here in Michigan. Once by himself, and once on the Outlaw Festival with Willie Nelson.
Mm-hmm. To try to talk about movies here, after Svengoolie was over, they have something, House of Svengoolie or something, and they were showing A Very Brady Christmas, which even though I love the Brady Bunch, as a show, I never watched that movie. And they had it like a horror. It was going to be like a horror movie on House of Svengoolie. Boy, I watched half of it. It was bad. It was really bad from what I saw of it, I don't know. So I don't have much to say about it, except I did watch the first half anyway. It's Curse of the Voodoo. Go ahead. Sorry, did I cut?
I'll say that. Well, that's one of the things I like about Svengoolie is the movies that he plays are generally bad, in some people's opinions. I know, some people might think these movies that he shows are really good. Sometimes they're bad.
He shows classic Svengoolie. He shows the original Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein. Come on, man. Shows a lot of good movies. But you're asking me if Curse of the Voodoo is any good. I can't say it's particularly good. I mean, when I first watched it, I was younger, I really was bored by it. It's just the kind of thing that the guy is in the jungle. I think what happens is, now I remember, that's why it's called Curse of Simba originally. He kills like a sacred lion or something, the hunter, and then the curse comes to him, and everywhere he goes, like on the bus, like he sees these voodoo guys showing up. At home, they come in his house, into his room and all. He's haunted by this curse, and I forget what's got to happen. I think he's got to go back there and kill somebody in order to break the curse or something. I think I enjoy it more than I did then, but I think the Devil Doll is better. Just Devil Doll, not the Devil Doll. Does any of you have an interest in Wicked for good?
No.
No.
Didn't see the one last year, and I'm not going to see the one this year.
No.
Although I did see the stage play, or musical, or whatever you like.
don't like modern music, so why would I like that? I wouldn't.
Well, it's amazing modern music, man. I don't know what they're thinking with that. Some of it. I'm not talking about people that play rock or play music, but you know what I mean. The
Yeah,
manufactured, very
Pop music.
yeah. What is that
yeah,
called?
yeah.
Computerized drum machines, all the same background, and have these electronic voices
Yeah.
singing to it.
Yeah,
I don't know what the hell that is, man.
Well, rockers even have used drum machines in the past. So
yeah, but
Yes,
there's a lot of songs that you'll hear on the radio that there's not even one musical instrument on it. It's all made on a keyboard, and I'm not talking
Right.
about a piano keyboard. I'm talking about a laptop keyboard, and that to me
Yeah.
is not music.
Right. Yeah.
yeah. Look at McCartney. Like that song "Get Enough." It would be like every song by Paul would be "Get Enough."
Right.
Godfather gets better each time, huh? Yeah.
I think so. I've never had a bad experience. Well, I shouldn't say that. The first time I watched it, I didn't even get through the half of it. I thought it was the most boringest thing I ever saw. But
Can I do a little test here? This is not about what you're saying, what you were saying. I'm going to play the Lugosi clip because I was doing a Danny show the other day, and when he was talking about his brother who passed, and I wished him well, condolences and everything. But after I waited for him to get done, and then I put that clip up with Lugosi. Why are you telling me this? I'm not interested in your life story, but it was about something else. And I just wanted the first words. I don't want to hear, not the life story part. So I put it on. He goes, "Why are you telling me this?" And I tried to cut it there. And I inadvertently hit delete. And I lost the whole damn clip. So I don't have it anymore. But then I went way back to the original source that I had gotten it from, and I found it again. But when I experimented with it, the clip, it was audio very low. And then I kept doing all these things. I kept experimenting to bring the audio up every time. Let's see what you think. I don't think it's going to be as loud as last time. Tell me what you think here. Here we go.
Why are you telling me this? I'm not interested in your life story.
that was loud to me.
Yeah, that sounded good. But you don't see him say story. It fades away sooner. But anyway, yeah, it worked. Woohoo! I wish I liked it more the last time I watched it. What are we talking about now?
Godfather, I'm assuming.
Perfect. Yeah, exactly. Tim, I think, why don't you tell us something? You got a whole stack of movies that you showed us.
Well, I'll start with stuff I picked up, which was like almost 3 weeks ago now. Because we haven't done this show in a while. So
Yeah.
I've forgotten when I got here, but they've been sitting here waiting. This looks interesting to me. This is a documentary called Deconstructing Dad. And it's about Raymond Scott, who was one of the first electronic composers. Big influence.
You're kidding!
Sorry, I couldn't resist. Go ahead.
Big influence on, I forget his name, the guy that did the Warner Brothers cartoons music. What's his name?
Jones.
No,
Chuck
the
Jones?
musical guy. It starts
The
with
music.
an S, but I forget it. Anyway, Carl Stalling. Big influence on Carl Stalling. And just an interesting guy. And I'm assuming his son made this. So I want to see this. This looks interesting. He's a great guy. I have a bunch of music by him. It's interesting. I wouldn't say it's great, but he did write a song called Powerhouse, which you would know. It's been used. Every cartoon series has used it in some form or another, and that's his biggest claim to fame. I picked this up because Marilyn's in it. There's no business like show business, and I don't know this movie. It's one of the few Marilyn movies I actually don't know because it's an Ethel Merman movie, which is why I don't know. But anyway, I picked that up. Saw this from the Warner Archives. Jason Robards and Lee Remick in Haywire. I have no idea, but it's Warner Archives, so pick that up.
Tim, where do you pick these up from?
Thrift store.
Thrift store.
It's the only place I have to buy movies left. There literally isn't any place. Walmart has about 4 dozen movies maybe, and that's about all that's left. Target got rid of their movies. There's no place left to buy movies where I am. And I think a couple of weeks ago, people were talking about this film. Maybe even you were, Tom. I don't remember. But I saw it, so I'm like, I'm going to pick it up. Happiness.
Yes. I cannot wait till you see it.
So I picked that up.
I can't wait to get your thoughts
won't
on
be
that
till
one.
next year because it's the holidays and blah blah blah.
Oh
blah.
yeah, it's listen, it's a downer movie. So
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you want to stay in the
anyway,
holiday cheer, don't worry about watching that right now.
Yeah, there's so many Hallmark movies to watch that.
No,
There you go. Don't tell Mayo's girl.
Okay, being Noirvember, I watched a bunch of film noirs, and a lot of these, most of these I've seen actually, but I didn't remember a lot of them. But this has become probably my favorite film noir. I might have even talked about this last year. Gun Crazy.
I think you have. Yeah.
I just love this movie, and I found out that I forget her name, but the woman, Peggy Cummings, she's Irish. You'd never know it from this film. She's from Ireland.
Her name sounds familiar. She can't be the one I'm thinking about from Abbott and Costello movie, is she not? Maybe not.
I don't. She had a long career. She did a lot of other stuff. But this is just, if you want to see just one film noir movie, see Gun Crazy. It's just nuts, and it's filmed so well. It's so innovatively filmed. It's just a fantastic film.
Good stuff.
Here you go, from Joe's favorite film company, Kino. I, Jane Doe.
Yeah.
This is kind of noir, but it kind of isn't. But it's real. This woman refuses to tell who she is. She knows who she is, and she gets arrested for murder. She's caught red-handed, and she's murdered this woman's husband. And this woman was a lawyer, but quit, but goes back into practice to defend her, the woman that killed her husband. It's very interesting. It's very well done. It's a very good movie, and again, highly recommended. I read this book a couple of weeks ago, and I'm going through movies, and I'm like, I have the film. So I watched it. Robert Redford, The Hot Rock.
Oh yeah,
I saw that once.
I loved the book, so I couldn't picture, because the guy's kind of kind of an idiot in the book, and I couldn't picture Redford, but he made a good forgot the guy's name, Dumsdorf or something, but yeah, good. Good move, good typical 70s, kind of comedy in a way, a little bit comedy, crime kind of movie though. I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Getting back to film noir, crime.
I have notes on the Hot Rock somewhere.
Crime. Okay. Crime and Punishment. This, I think, is Peter Lorre's first American film. And he's really good in it. This is an excellent film. I'm assuming, I've never read Crime and Punishment, but I'm assuming it's based on the famous Crime and Punishment book. But it's really an interesting movie. Peter Lorre is kind of warped, which is not unusual for Peter Lorre, but he's not really a bad guy. And despite everything that happens in this movie, it sort of has a happy ending, which is just very odd. It's a very interesting film. I liked it.
Sure.
Dick Powell and Lisbeth Scott. I know, Joe, you don't like Lisbeth Scott. I love
No.
Pitfall. This is kind of interesting because Lisbeth Scott is Lisbeth Scott, and he kind of falls in love with her. But it's also got what's his name? Raymond Burr in it. Raymond Burr might be as evil as he's ever been in a movie in this.
Yeah, that sounds worth watching.
This is pretty. He's awful. And I kind of like this movie too. This is a very good film noir. Private Hell 36. These two guys are cops, and this is one of the cops' wives, the woman at the bottom. They wind up taking a bunch of money that they got off this crook, and it just leads down the path to this. It gets bleak. It gets real bleak. So very good film noir. If you like, film noir, this is a good one. The Crooked Way. John Payne is not a very nice guy. No, he is a nice guy. It's who is it? Richard Conte, the other guy in this, I think.
You tell me.
It's been like 2.5 weeks since I watched this already, so now I don't. But he's a war hero, and he gets amnesia. It's an amnesia thing, and he doesn't know who he is. And the doctor thinks it might be a good idea to go back home and see if he can figure it out. And it turns out he was a big guy in the underworld, and a lot of people are trying to kill him, and blah 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 blah. So it's interesting. He probably shouldn't have gone home to figure out who he was. But anyway, there you go. A couple more here. Without Honor. This is interesting. It's kind of a film noir, but not. It's more of a domestic thing because it takes place in the suburbs. But this woman's having an affair, and Agnes Moorehead is in this, which is great. She's the best part of the film, and
she's great.
Winds up killing, or at least she thinks she killed the guy she's having an affair with. Meanwhile, her husband comes home. Meanwhile, this guy right here is her husband's brother, and he secretly loves her, so he's trying to get rid of her because he can't have her. So he sets up this whole thing where the woman's going to confront the wife, and everybody's going to be confronted together, and this thing's going to be brought out in the open, and it falls flat on his face, which is great. And Don't Trust Your Husband. I thought this was noir, and it's not. This is a screwball comedy with Fred McMurray.
That's how I always think of him. That's why I have trouble getting into him in the drama things.
Well, no, but I mean, Don't Trust Your Husband, and that it looks like but it's not. It's a screwball comedy. His wife thinks he's having an affair. He's not, and mayhem ensues. It's okay. This is great. This might be Marilyn's best performance, in my opinion. Niagara. This is the last one I watched.
I've heard of Niagara.
Just a really well shot, well put together, color film
She's
noir.
well put together.
A lot of people say film noirs can't be color, but this is definitely film noir, and it's a really good film. And Marilyn is bad. She's bad.
Is she now?
And that's it. That's
Tim, I like what you show all these old movies because I like old movies.
well,
But
that's what I watch.
I did watch. There was something I forgot. There's a movie. You know the movie Top Hat?
Yeah.
Anybody? With Fred Astaire?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did you know? I don't know if you know this or not, but in Japan, I couldn't believe they remade Top Hat, the Fred Astaire movie, and I have a clip from it here.
You went a long way for that one.
Yeah, I did. Well, I was doing it for Ramoga because he loves that clip, and he asked me once on another stream. He said, "What?" He tried setting it up. He said, "What does Fred Astaire have in common with Godzilla?" So, all right, let's go up here a little bit. I hope you didn't miss it. We're gonna way back here. We watched an episode of Tales from the Crypt. It had Roger Daltrey in the lead role. I think I remember him from way back when being in one of those. Yeah, Tales from the Crypt. I still have the whole series, and I only watched like 2 episodes maybe even. Please, enough with the Turkey Day and thanks. It's long over, but thank you, Rocco. I appreciate your nice sentiment.
I cooked 25 turkeys this week. Thanks for.
Oh man, that's what they put on this list for.
Yeah.
Sure. Ramoga, are you guys in on the Stranger Things final series?
No, I gave it a shot. I watched the first couple episodes. I just couldn't get into it.
Well, before you answer this question, I've never seen Double Indemnity, a great film, but I went around Turner and it was just started. It was on at 8:00. It was just about to start, and I almost wanted to watch it, and my girlfriend didn't really care to watch it. We were watching something together, so and she doesn't like Barbara Stanwyck, so I'm like, oh, well, all right. That was a good opportunity for me to watch it finally,
Yeah.
So, but it'll be on there another million times, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think we answered that a couple times, but
yeah,
Orson Welles stuff, like The Third Man, A Touch of Evil, are usually like my go-tos.
Yeah, it's not my favorite, mainly because of Barbara Stanwyck's wig, but I love her. I love the whole thing. It's just that wig, and he did that on purpose, but I still can't get behind it.
Behind that wig.
Yeah.
Favorite biopic? I don't know. I mean, I must have one if I could. I don't want to say Ed Wood, but it's a fun movie, Ed Wood. But I'm trying to think like which biopic do I like? There's a movie with James Cagney, Man of a Thousand Faces, that's about Lon Chaney Sr. And it's a good movie, very good movie, I think. But just as all of them, it's a lot of it's make-believe stuff. It's not a lot of it's not real, but it's a good, entertaining movie. And that's even, his family, Chaney's family said that,
I like I kind of like what Oliver Stone did with like Nixon and W and I know even JFK is not really a bio about Kennedy, but it's more like a bio about the assassination, or the conspiracy or whatever. And the Garrett, the attorney. So it's kind of like a biopic, but not really.
Well, I've never seen it, but I heard a lot of good things about Chaplin.
Yeah, Chaplin's really good.
Chaplin was pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, just for kicks, The Pride of the Yankees.
Yeah, Gary Cooper.
Yeah, the Lou Gehrig story. That was pretty
good. Isn't Babe Ruth actually in there? That movie?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, so I remember seeing it a long time ago. Okay, my sons think The Godfather's boring. They don't want to watch it. They love Goodfellas. Yeah.
Yep, that one's a good one too.
Now, this is an interesting question. If Tim can answer.
I'm not good at time, so I don't know when movies came
and they're all
out.
it's the same thing. You can't tell the difference between 2000 and 2000.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I definitely have my favorite movie from the last 20 years, but the last decade.
Well, it's the same thing. So pick one. Pick some.
I loved Gravity. If they could make 1 million films like Gravity, I'd be in the movies every week. Gravity was just fantastic.
Fantastic.
It is.
Yes.
I concur.
I I like Doubt.
Yeah, Doubt. There Will Be Blood.
I can't remember the name of the movie. I talked about it. I watched it on here. It was about the New York
Saw 10.
Times. It's about reporters and stuff. I can't. I watched so many movies. I can't remember them. That was a really good movie.
The Big Short. Is that what it's called?
No. I could go look really quick if you want me to, but
Well, what you
that was really good. I mean, there are good movies. I'm not saying there's not. I can't remember what it was called, but the movie, I'm not gonna remember her name either. The blonde actress from It's a Wonderful Life, the movie they made about her last days.
The Liverpool. The Hollywood stars don't die in Liverpool.
Yes, that movie was really good.
Yeah.
I think that's the last 10 years. I think.
Yeah.
There are some.
Hi, Gary. Well, I'm glad you're coming by.
Yes.
You don't have to add nothing to the conversation, but I'm glad you're here. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. James, hello. Yes, thank you. I'm sure Danny's watching right now, I think. Ginger Rogers was so hot in Top Hats. There you go. You're welcome. I know. I try to work that in somehow if I can, but I gotta go. I'll see you later. I gotta go. I gotta watch this. Hold on.
All right. Well, Tim.
No, I actually watched a movie about that, and it's amazing the people's comments in these videos. People try to do you a favor, show you 12 interesting movies on YouTube, and it's all negativity. It's
right.
Like, why are you being so negative? This guy's trying to do you a favor. Anyway, yes, James Farley. That wasn't the last 10 years, I don't think, but The Artist was a very good film. But I don't know if people might be mad at me if I said a silent film is my last favorite film in the last 10 years.
Well, I think it's in the 20-year range now, isn't it?
It's in the 20-year range, yeah, but not in the last 10.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a great movie.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah. Ramoga, Perfect Days is on my radar. Hope to watch that soon. And Gary, if you're talking about this box, it is very tempting, and I love it. Mwah. So much. Anywho, so
Ramoga, I couldn't get through the Doors movie. I tried. I rarely turn a movie off. I turn the Doors movie off, like not even 20% through. Probably, I'm like, okay, I can't deal with this.
I thought at some point somebody would say, "So Joe really went to see the movie, huh?" But it didn't work.
No,
we didn't fall for it, Joe.
Yeah.
Triple indemnity.
Yeah. You can have mine if you want. Give me $1,000. It's yours.
It ain't worth $1,000.
Well, that's what they're asking for. Perfect day. Well, I always have a hard time with this question because I have a lot of favorite films, and some of them are not great films.
Right.
Oh, by the way, I noticed that Westworld, speaking of one of my favorite films, is going to be on 4K or something. It's coming out.
Yeah, I think Arrow is releasing it on 4K.
Yeah.
Yes.
Time Machine. I saw it once. Didn't blow me away.
Oh yeah, there's a movie with Hugh Jackman coming out. That's I don't know if it's not about Neil Diamond, but it's I don't think it's about Neil Diamond. I think it's a guy who wants to be a Neil Diamond impersonator, but I don't remember. didn't appeal to me, so I
No, it doesn't. And I've heard a little bit of the music from somewhere, and I'm like, he doesn't sound anything like Neil Diamond. This is not good.
Is there any truth, or is it an AI rumor that Scarlett Johansson is supposed to be in an Exorcist film?
No, this is actual. This is actual fact. So,
well, I said I'm not going to get screwed again after Exorcist Believer, and before that there was crap exorcism movies. I mean, I'm really done on exorcism movies.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's like an original Exorcist movie or if it's got ties with the Exorcist series or not.
I heard it was just supposed to be the same time period or something, but it's not a prequel or anything.
Okay. Just
let it go, man. Really, come on. I mean, I know they've been doing this for forever with movies, but that's the point I'm getting at. But then again, if you're just starting, who knows? If you're 15 and you just get into movies or horror movies and you haven't seen everything already, all the knockoffs and everything. You're asking me. Westworld is one of my favorite movies of all time. Is Future World a decent sequel? I don't think so. I mean, I can watch it. I don't hate it, but it's such a unworthy sequel to me to Westworld. And Yul Brynner as the robot gunslinger has a cameo that is one of the most embarrassingly ridiculous excuses for a cameo that I've ever seen. So, but I mean, I can watch the movie and kind of like just have a lark way, but that's my opinion. And that's the show. Okay. Other than rock show, what McCartney concert film is a high quality experience? I have an answer for that. All of them except for Get Back, the old Get Back, Richard Lester thing, maybe. I have no problem. I saw Andy, doing a show, and he was saying again how we need to get a new one without any other audience shots. I got no problem with the audience shots if they're done right, if they're done right. But yeah, I want to see most of the time. I want it to be on the band, So I don't know. I get them mixed up too. I don't know if it's
that's odd that you picked Get Back because that's the only one, as far as I know, that was actually a theatrical release besides Rock Show. All the other ones weren't theatrical releases, but Get Back was.
Yes, Ramoga. I would say Seven Samurai is my favorite Kurosawa film, followed closely with High and Low and Yojimbo and Sanjuro. So many great Kurosawa films, but definitely Seven Samurai.
Bad Sleep Well is really good.
Bad Sleep Well, yeah. Any of them from the 50s and 60s, maybe. Good stuff.
I figure I'd disappear and let Tom handle it. I don't want to be here for this.
Well, let me tell you, my friend, there has been remakes and sequels since the beginning of cinema, and just not nowadays. So just a little thing right there. But I know what you're saying, because there is a lot of remakes and sequels. But that's what the studios are looking for. That's how they're expecting to make money with this existing, IP. They think that they're going to build off of people's nostalgia, in my opinion. They're working on a Gremlins 3 right now, which why I don't know. I mean, it's been over 30 years since Gremlins 2, maybe even longer, 35 years. So it's kind of crazy. But again, if people keep going to them, and if film studios keep going for this cash grab, if you will, of reboots and sequels, and if people keep going, then they're going to keep doing them.
Okay, I was going to say nothing.
Yeah.
The first thing, but that latter part, what I always say is, people say that, right? It's true. If people keep going, they're going to keep doing them. But that's I used to say this before movies got unpopular, because now movies on the screen are dying. It's mostly streaming and stuff like that. But I used to say that it starts with the filmmakers, because the audience, when they were watching movies in the theater, see what you think of this opinion. They want to see a movie. They want to go to the movies. They have to pick from what's on the menu.
Sure.
Right? It's like a catch-22. If they're only offering up, mostly offering up, I know it's not all, because those good films, independent films too. But if they're mostly offering up remakes and sequels, that's what people will see, and then they'll keep regenerating them because they're going. But if they just had only art films, no more remakes and sequels, and new generations come up, and that's all they got to choose from, that's probably what they would see. But it doesn't apply today, because today they got streaming.
Can I weigh in on this? Because you mentioned something, Joe, that clicked in something with me. The way films made, especially studio films, is very different from the way it was made even 30 years ago. These days, it's a studio that says, okay, Spider-Man 4 did well. We need to do a Spider-Man 5. So then they hire writers and they get a director and blah, blah, blah. Whereas once upon a time, it was people that wanted to make films. It was directors that would get a script and go, okay, I want to make this film. And then the director would go to a studio and get it made. But these days, it's a studio hiring a director for a film that they already have an idea to do. And that's a totally different thing.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with all of that. I mean, the Planet of the Apes films were making money, and I think they rushed Planet of the Apes, films out.
Well,
what are you talking about? We're talking about the old ones from the 70s.
Yeah,
but again,
No. Each sequel made less money. That actually works the other way. They kept making less and less money, and they still made them though.
But they still made money though.
But there's exceptions. I'm saying for the most part, there were still, back when Planet of the Apes been made, probably 90+% of films were made by directors that got a script and went to a studio, and as opposed to now, 90% of the films are made by studios who hire a director and writers, and it's a different setup.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
I'm not saying it never happened before. I'm saying now it's the norm. Once upon a time, it wasn't the norm at all.
This can prove that too, about all this thing, about all there were always sequels and everything. There were to a point, but take Charlton Heston for example. He didn't want to do the second movie, the sequel. Why? Because it wasn't the thing to do back then. He said this many times. He said, they had things he said, like he used to joke around to the Andy Hardy series. And this is what we were talking about once. What's a series? What's sequels? The Andy Hardy series, that was different, he said. But he says, the first Apes film, he said, was such a good story. He says, but I knew, he said, the next one's going to be just Adventures Among the Monkeys, he called it. And that's what it was, really. And so he used to joke around and say, now, of course, if I had the foresight to see what happened with Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger and all these guys, but back then it wasn't done. So even he, somebody who was in the business many years, said sequels was such a relatively rare thing. I mean,
right.
Even French Connection 2 or
right,
those things, they really started going crazy in the early 70s, I guess, right?
Yeah, the 70s was the big start.
Yeah, people didn't want to get typecast in certain roles, So yeah, they would just want to do the one, and then call it a day and move on to the next.
Well, this is an interesting topic because we're all getting into it. I don't know if it's all just about that typecasting. I think that, like in the Heston case, he didn't know about typecasting. He just didn't think it would be quality to go on after the first one, and some people would argue it wasn't. I think it got pretty interesting, the series as it went on, the Apes series. But a lot of people, they just felt like, I've done that already, and move on to something else, and we exhausted the possibilities. But now it's more about the money. In fact, Heston said, pay me whatever you want to do the second one, and he donated it. We'll donate it to a school. He didn't even take the money, So he had to do it as a favor to Richard Zanuck, because he made the first Planet of the Apes movie. When Heston wanted him to make the first one, he took a chance on it. So he said, I owe you this. I'll owe you the sequel. But After that, I'm out of here. Blow the planet up. It's the end of that.
Yeah, I mean, even though I tire, I know I could poo poo on remakes and sequels, but obviously I try to stay positive about these things because I do think it's if you get a good upcoming refreshing director and you get his take on something, it could it could be interesting, like this new Running Man. Okay, the new Running Man was more faithful to the book, and it wasn't the Arnold Schwarzenegger one. Well, guess what? I mean, it flopped at the box office probably because it was maybe too close to the book, and where the Arnold Schwarzenegger one was a lot of one-liners and a lot of fun action to it. So but again, I mean, it's it's up to you really if you want to go see it. I choose not to see a lot of the remakes or the sequel, especially like again, another point in case 2 years ago we got a fifth Indiana Jones movie. I mean that they spent over $200 million to make this film and it flopped hard. It's just past its time. Studios need to make more movies now for this younger generation so they can have a reason to go to the theater, not for like mine or Joe's generation. But even though I'm still going, I want to still see movies. But if in order for the business, the theaters and Hollywood to keep growing and continuing, they need to make more movies for these younger generations to get them off the couch to go to the theater.
Yeah, I was saying that something earlier. I can't remember what it was relating to that. I agree with you on that. I was wondering about as we're talking about these reboots, like the reboots, like how many Spider-Man series has there been? See, this whole thing when they don't, it's not sequels anymore. We're going to reboot it,
right?
And it's like that. I don't understand. It's like. That's something I don't think they did much. Maybe there's some exceptions in like the 30s and 40s and 50s, 60s like that, where they did that, where they rebooted a whole series over again rather than a sequel. But like it's time. But you mentioned Indiana Jones. Now, see if they did well. We've done that to death with Harrison Ford. He's too old, whatever. So we're gonna redo the first one. Raiders of the Lost Ark 2028 or something. You start all over again. See that kind of thing. This is just my opinion. I'm done with that kind of thing. But I'm older. Like you said, maybe young people it's for them. Yeah. Well, I was trying to think about this for a while. I'm trying to think of who got the most women. That's what I'm trying to think, and that would be the answer. How about Sean Connery?
No, because no, never mind.
Well, I don't want to be without hair.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
That's one thing. Well, I did. I did not. I don't care much for Logan's Run. I love all that era of '70s science fiction stuff, but that's always been really weak to me. More like a TV movie than anything. However, again, like so many other movies I've gotten cheap, I've got Logan's Run for like a couple of $1 or $2 on Blu-ray, and you never know. One of these years, I may get to that. One of these decades, I may watch that again. That's what I'm hoping.
Okay. I watched it not that long ago. I don't know if you guys remember. I talked about it.
Now you mentioned it. I didn't until you said it.
It's okay. It wasn't a great film, but it's okay. I'm glad I saw it. But it is. There's something very TV like about a lot of the '70s, like sci-fi.
Yeah, they say that a lot. Yeah. It's a shame because nobody felt it at the time. I don't think. Yeah. Like when I went to the movie theater to see some of those Apes films again, the last couple of Apes films, Conquest of the Planet of the Apes seemed bigger than life to me. I didn't think. Oh,
well, I mean, they weren't giving them big budgets either because at the time, in the '70s, sci-fi until Star Wars. I mean, sci-fi wasn't that popular of a genre.
No. Because that's one of my biggest pet peeves. Like, we're not doing it here per se. Well, you're not doing it here, but that reminds me that I want to do it with somebody who knows the Apes films very well. I would like to talk about that because my take on that is, I saw all 5 in the theater, especially when they brought them all back in the 70s. And they were just like any kind of, then it was just like any kind of action film today or something, it wasn't like, oh, look how cheesy and low budget this is. But what I'm trying to get at is, then came out that documentary, an excellent documentary in 1998, and every time, and that ruined the attitude towards the movies, because everybody who sees that is an expert and a wizard. All of a sudden, they're a professor. I'm not saying you, Tom. You reminded me of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're always like, "Oh, the budgets. Too bad they didn't get bigger budget." I'm like, "Don't give me this crap. You just said about $200 million. Budget does not always make a movie. Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
You know, Night of the Living Dead. It's about actors. It's about filmmakers. It's about characters.
Well, yeah, but if you're going to have a film that's relying heavy on makeup and costumes, I think that you know, you can easily tell in those later movies that you look at some of those later. I mean, those masks are just pullover masks, and it's not. You know, they didn't do the care that they did with the first one with
that's also, I'll talk about this all the time, folks. Let's have a Big Apes discussion. That's another myth. I know the movies better than anybody else, and there's over the head masks in the first movie, and that doesn't look like it's any $100 million movie to me either. Just on desert and everything. So in the second movie, the director Ted Post, and I spoke to him. I interviewed him once years ago. You know, he went out of his way to show the crowds with the masks on. Okay, but the thing, you know, I've been doing this forever. You have to know the movie Beneath the Planet of the Apes. It's underground. It looks very expensive to me. It looks expensive. It's not. It wasn't, but they have all this stuff. The Hello Dolly sets, they turned into like the cathedral, and they melted everything, make it look melted and ruined. It looks freaking more expensive than the first one to me. Anyway, I'll debate this with an apes person anytime, you know, a real apes person. But an Escape from the Planet of the Apes. Let's talk about just that one. Or leave it at that. The third one, if you're familiar with it,
right? Yeah,
you don't require a budget for that. It's a story about just three apes in real good makeup that go back to the past of 1973 in California, and you don't need outer spaceships and satellites and super beings and dinosaurs. You don't need all that. All you need, they're just in the regular world trying to get along. And it's a wonderful, heart-tugging story. It's a story about the personality. You know, their personalities come through in a relationship.
Well, I agree. And I agree. And if it is a fact that if you are trying to cut the budget, I mean, that's a great example of a perfect way to do it, right? You know,
it's a good way to cut the budget, but also after the ending of the second one, that's the only way to go. It's the only way to go back to the past.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, I love talking about apes. Planet of the Apes, that is.
Anyway, I'm really looking forward to Shrek 5. That question was
Shrek 5,
I never saw 2, 3, or 4, but man, I'm looking forward to 5.
I wouldn't see one either. So.
but see, that's the thing is like when the studio has, you know, when they're sitting on a series of films that's making in the billions of dollars, okay, if you were a studio executive and you're sitting on this gold mine, you'd be stupid not to go back to it.
Right. I get it. Yeah.
You know?
By the way, I couldn't care less about any of the Jordan Peele movies just because I like Get Out. I mean, there's very few directors that I'd say, oh boy, I think I want to see more of his films. Hitchcock's one of them that I'd like to see more stuff, and I don't know, even William Wyler, stuff that I haven't seen. But for a while, it was Kubrick also. I was watching his stuff just because of he was the director. Trying to think who else I like. I feel like there are some other directors that they have a definite style. But where did I just hear yesterday again? Somebody was talking about movies and said there was people that were in movies, and they said editing often makes a film. Oh, yeah. I believe that it's a joint effort. It's not just a Spielberg made Jaws.
Star Wars was made in the editing room. You know.
Right.
I read The Kid Stays in the Picture, and all 3 Godfather movies were made in the editing room because apparently they were terrible the way that they were originally cut.
Well, that's the thing, unwatchable. I've never understood that unless it's a director. You know, sometimes you have a director who it's written by him, it's directed by him, and it's edited. Like, he does the whole thing. Then it's his movie. Like, whenever they say, I'll just name, Francis Ford Coppola's blah blah blah. Martin Scorsese's blah blah blah. Yeah. It's like it's everybody. It's a joint thing. Music. John Williams. That was a joint effort with Jaws. Not taking anything away from Spielberg, he did a great job. But I mean, it's the characters, the actors chosen, the script, the writing, the music, the editing by Verna Fields, for just taking that one movie as an example. I think so. That's why I don't always think it's just like it's about the director.
No, not all the time. No.
Yeah. No, but there are certain. I want to go back to this thing a second. Just because one of the problems I have with them doing Shrek now is part of the thing that was fantastic about the first Shrek movie, and like I said, I've only really seen the first one, is the music in it. You've got the Proclaimers and all this like really interesting. What's Shrek 5 going to have? Dua Lipa and Taylor Swift, and it's just
it doesn't matter, Tim, because it's not going to be aimed towards you.
Well, exactly. But people are like, "Do you want to see it?" No, and that's part of the reason I don't.
That's the thing too. If it's not aimed for us, then we don't come. Not you only, Tom. Don't anybody come down on us because we're not interested. It's not for me. I don't care.
Exactly. But people keep asking, "Are you interested in this?" And no, and
Well, there's people that do that music all the time. You get these old guys, man. They're like 70 in the 70s or whatever. I'm not. I don't know what the word is. I'm cool or whatever the word is. I'm hip. I'm into it. I'm not going to put down today's music. Oh, looks is good. Come on, you look ridiculous. There's an Odd Couple episode. You remember that one ever when they go out, they want to dance with the young girls, or they try to keep young, and then Oscar goes, "You want to look like that guy?" And he sees this guy with this old guy with he put a long wig like Dr. Smith from Lost in Space, and he's like. He's going like this in a club. You look ridiculous. Come on. Some things I believe in keeping young, sure, but something I'm okay. For me, I'm okay with certain things not being my thing. All right, let's move on because I'm gonna have to get out of here. How about your favorite Holden Crosby picture? I don't think I'm not.
No,
Dorothy Lamour.
That's not me.
I've seen all of them, and I can't really distinguish between them. They're all kind of the same. So I don't have a favorite. They're all kind of the same.
Who's the girl in there?
It's Dorothy Lamour. You got it.
I said Dorothy Lamour. Okay, you're right. She's beautiful. Yeah. Oh yeah, like this is what. Well, see this. Yeah, like the movie Them, which is about ants. Killer ant, giant ants from 1954. Okay, I don't know because they took some 50s movies and did good remakes with them. I think some of them, and that's one which I almost wouldn't mind them redoing that if they did get it right. I mean, it's a matter of personal choice, right? How it hits you. I mean.
Well, the problem with redoing a movie like that is there's a huge subtext to Them. I mean, the ants are the communists, basically. It's an anti-communist film is what it is. So it doesn't really work today, maybe. But that's what it is. It's about invaders that we didn't see for a long time, and now they're here. And
it's been a long time for me.
It's a communist. It's a communist, anti-communist film.
I must have an answer for this, but Amadeus.
No,
what a terrible movie.
The artist. The
artist. Annie Hall didn't deserve best picture. I'm sorry, but I still liked it. But best picture. What other pictures were there? I forget. Were the actors, actresses? Actors are all actors now. No, I'm gonna best supporting actress. They say. I don't know. I'm sure I can't think of it. Gaba Gandhi. How about Gandhi? How about Chariots of Fire?
Chariots of Fire. I'm sure there's some stuff from the 30s and 40s that probably didn't deserve to win.
I really don't have. I don't really. you know, I don't.
There's when I go to the AM, sometimes when I go to AMC to watch a movie, they'll have the big pretzel that's like this, and I'll just get the massive warm pretzel.
Yeah.
I kind of prefer that over popcorn these days.
I don't really eat when I'm watching movies.
I don't agree about Godfather 2. I think Godfather 1 is better than 2, personally. But God, that's just my opinion. That's not just my opinion. I'm only saying it's subjective.
I sometimes I do agree with that, Joe. I mean, the one-liners are a lot better. I think the story flow is a lot better than part 2. There's some really good scenes in part 2, but I think all the charm and the I just think the first one is probably, even though I think 2 is better, but I still think 1 is probably the better one.
And, Empire Strikes Back. I mean, I'm no expert on Star Wars, you know that, but I always say I think that's probably I like that one.
Yeah.
The thing is, you got to realize part 1 of when they do a series, there always has to be some time taken for exposition and stuff, and that's going to take away from the movie. When you get to part 2, it can be 100% about this movie, where part 1 you have to explain, you have to take some time, you have to set it up, and that always takes away from the movie.
Well, sometimes the exposition and explanation comes in the second movie.
Right, yeah. See, Star Wars, for an example, for Star Wars, for example, there was no build up to these characters. I mean, there was no build up to Darth Vader. He just appeared. I mean, here he is.
I gotta move. I'm enjoying. Now we're getting good comments, but I'm gonna have to go. So I want to go kind of fast. I never got into Jerry Lewis personally. That's all I could say.
King of comedy.
I think genius. The man invented the I don't even remember what you call it, but the video thing where the director can actually view what's going on through the camera. Jerry Lewis invented that. That's important. He was a genius.
Yeah, I like those movies.
Okay, Tim Reed, I gotta go. Yeah, hi Gray. I'm Mike. How you doing?
Hi Mike.
I didn't even, I always tell you, whenever Salem's Lot comes up, I have my standard answer. I read the book, and I loved the book. I thought it was really good, and then I saw the TV movie. I didn't like the TV movie, the 70s one, or whatever, whenever it was, 80s, 70s. Yeah. I heard that. Is Woody Allen making another movie? I heard. By the way, is today his 90th birthday?
I think so. I thought I saw something.
It's this month anyway.
Yeah. Christopher Nolan still, Denis Villeneuve, who's done the Dune movies. Paul Thomas Anderson. They're still, people are still making movies on film. It's just very uncommon now, and you got to thank George Lucas and James Cameron. For George Lucas, I think that second Star Wars prequel film, Attack of the Clones, was the first film to be shot all digital with an all digital camera. But yeah, you can blame those guys for all that.
Did they ever locate Bingo's father? Yeah, well, the thing with that is, it's like, look, my pal, he's gone. Oh, if he was ever here again, I would never hit him again. Oh, I tell you, Abbott, wow, you dirty double crosser. Anyway, you have to know Abbott and Costello TV show for this one. I don't care, to tell you the truth, but what do you guys say?
Yeah,
no, I'm not interested.
No, these ones with that James Cameron doing. Here's the thing, though. James Cameron has 3 movies in the top 5 highest grossing films of all time. This one coming out in December it's going to be his 4th movie in the top 5 highest grossing films of all time. So there is something to be said for that.
I like Mighty Joe Young, 1949 version. I even like the remake from 1998. That's a time where I like the remake. Yeah, I enjoy it.
Good movie.
Yeah, it's funny. I know Everybody Loves Raymond. I saw the anniversary show. 30th anniversary show. But I don't know enough of the dialogue to know that one. I don't think. I don't think a Pinocchio is a Frankenstein movie, but I guess if you stretch it,
I mean, what? Just one aspect of it, or
I thought it was a porno movie. One aspect of it.
I'm sure there was one once, Joe.
Okay, that's very nice. That's very nice. Back to the Future, eh? Oh boy, never saw it in theaters. It was fun. There you go.
Good.
Yeah, I found the clip of that. Absolutely, I did. Yeah. Well, I didn't find it. I don't know. I did find it. I found the old one. Whatever. I brought it back.
Why are you telling me this?
Lon Chaney Jr. was not nominated for Mice and Men, I don't think, and he should have been. It was a good performance, I thought. Yesterday was Woody Allen's birthday. Anyway, I enjoyed the stream. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, we got a couple of minutes, no? Tom, you have an ice cream?
Not tonight.
Man, I tell you, got to get that act in gear, right?
I have been.
You have been. Ooh-wee.
See these here? See these things? Blood pressure's high, sugar's high, cholesterol's high. Taking shit. I gotta.
Wait a minute. We got to talk. How about we talk off camera?
Yeah.
Yeah, we will do that if you don't mind. But anyway, thanks everybody. We'll try to do this again next week. We miss a week here or there. But happy birthday yesterday to Woody Allen.